That's gonna be a great fight. If Errol gonna be himself, he should win. But we don't know what he got left.
Yeah.
So, but if Tim come in and be himself, he'll push Errol to the edge.
Do you think that's like a true 50-50 fight, like a crossroad fight for both those guys?
No, I don't think so. I think Errol probably will.
You know, I'm gonna be in Australia. I'm gonna be.
I know you're gonna be over there. Yeah.
I'm gonna be supporting Spence, rooting him on.
Yeah.
You know, I just like to support, fighters in his own right. I done been in Boots locker room supporting him. So it's just crazy how the tables turn. When people get to a certain plateau and they forget about things like that.
We picking Earl. I'm picking
Of course.
Of course. Sean and Sean.
Of course.
Yeah.
Sean better.
We gotta see.
Tim Tszyu did good in his fight. And he fought a decent guy too.
Yeah.
And he did good. So I'm not saying Tim is finished. But if Errol Spence has nothing left, then he's gonna get then Tim Tszyu's gonna beat him.
But if he has something left, then he
he's
could
got
win.
then he could win.
So it's not like the headline said.
But he's not. But he doesn't want to take a chance in a tune-up fight because he could get his ass kicked in a tune-up fight.
But he never took tune-up, Trevor. It's not.
When was he retired? What do you mean he never took tune-up fight?
I think it's good for Spence. Tim Tszyu is a lot to bite off of. A first fight back coming off his destruction of Terence Crawford. I just think that's. If I had to pick, I would lean more towards Tim Tszyu. It seems like I don't know how Spence, I just don't know, you know what I'm saying? And the way he looked. I don't want to see Spence fight again. That's just me. And it's emotional for me because I'm a fighter. And Spence, I would rather Spence just go out with that right there and just remember him for being great in his time and just fighting a guy that was better than him.
Is Errol Spence Jr. getting ready to remind everyone exactly why he is still considered one of boxing's elite fighters? Or will Tim Tszyu prove all the doubters wrong by delivering a statement victory? Boxing experts remain completely divided over the outcome, and with every prediction adding more fuel to the debate, the anticipation surrounding this massive showdown continues to grow more intense.
Tim got to come out and be aggressive with a jab and not getting caught up in little arguments where they going back and forth with each other. If they sitting there trading back and forth, they either one of them got a shot. But whoever's being a little bit smarter than the other, I think has a chance. I think that's how this fight goes. I don't think Errol Spence just going there and just bully Tim Tszyu. But I think it'll be spots where he could play bully. I don't think Tim Tszyu could go in there and just do what he went to Errol, but it's going to be spots he can get off. Whoever's the smarter fighter.
Joining the discussion, Sean Porter and Terence Crawford shared their detailed breakdown of how the potential clash between Errol Spence Jr. and Tim Tszyu could unfold. Both offered bold predictions and unique perspectives on the matchup, sparking even more debate among boxing fans over who would come out on top.
This side is more towards Tim. I'm definitely towards Errol. I just feel like Errol, even though we haven't seen him in 3 years now, I think he still has more than enough to beat Tim. All that said, I hate saying it because I've been over there so many times broadcasting for Tim. I got to look this man in the eyes, and for the first time, I'm going to have to look him in the eyes like, yo, I know you heard everything I said. So
I told him to his face.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's cool. It's cool to be, see, and this is what I don't understand why people take it so hurtful. When we in like England and places like that, or overseas, like they tell you, and it's okay, like, hey, you're a great fighter, but I think he's gonna win.
Meanwhile, Keith Thurman is leaning toward Tim Tszyu, believing his experience competing at the higher weight class could become a major advantage on fight night. Thurman argues that Tszyu's physicality, comfort at the weight, and familiarity with the division may create serious problems for Errol Spence Jr. throughout the contest.
Tim Tszyu, because he already from a higher division, when welterweights are adding more weight, a lot of times they're just giving themselves an excuse to be slower, in my opinion. Because let's say the fight's at what, 158, right? And then they're gonna rehydrate, right? So he's gonna be 168, 173 by the time he gets in the ring anyways.
It's actually right at 158, actually.
Yeah, so, but, you put a solid 10 to 13 pounds on, rehydrating and everything.
Adding his perspective to the discussion, Robert Garcia explained why he believes Errol Spence Jr. would benefit more from taking a tune-up fight before jumping directly into a dangerous showdown with Tim Tszyu. Garcia feels that easing back into competition would better prepare Spence for the challenges such a high-risk matchup would present.
Inactivity, not fighting.
He always fought.
Yeah, but he didn't fight every month.
No, he hasn't fought in what, 3-4 years. So now, anybody coming back from a 3 or 4 year layoff is gonna want a tune-up fight. Unless you're getting paid a lot of money and you don't have much left. Make that money.
Yeah.
Understand what I'm saying? I'm not saying he's done.
If you get 5 or 10 or 15 million, it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying he's done. I'm not saying he's finished. He could have everything left. He could be world champion again.
On the other hand, Sean Porter believes Errol Spence Jr. is the more complete fighter, pointing to his superior ring IQ, technical ability, and much wider variety of punches as the biggest advantages he holds over Tim Tszyu.
With Terence, the kid really is special. Like the dude really is special, and I know
he's not Dennis Nurse.
I know these things about him. Like he has the ability to see your balance and make you move. You know what I mean? Like he's really like one of those master kung fu artists, but in boxing. You know what I mean? So he's a masterful boxer. You know?
Yeah.
And so those are the kind of things that we're looking at Tim Tszyu that doesn't have that kind of style.
Mm-hmm.
Tim Tszyu has more of the style that made Errol Spence Jr. the boogeyman. Errol Spence was fighting guys that couldn't move. Errol Spence was fighting guys that weren't fast. Errol Spence was fighting. Errol Spence could move. Oh no! I mean that fight was great until it ended. That fight was amazing until it ended.
Yeah.
It was a great fight until it ended. And again, a fighter that challenged him. But outside of him, outside of
and
me,
yourself,
Lamont Peterson still right there in front of him.
Yeah.
Everybody else,
Stanny.
Everybody else were fighters that plot, that stand right in front of you, that want to exchange and want to catch you. And to me, this is a perfect fight for both guys. Styles make fights, and I think that both guys got perfect styles to beat one another. I disagree. I think Errol Spence is the sharper fighter. I do. I think he's the sharper fighter. I think he's crispier. And I think his shot, his punch selection is better. And I think that he has the better shot of landing that right punch at that right time. And for the sake of possibly losing my job in Australia, we might need to edit this.
No. They want you. They're gonna want that, man. They want.
See what shots? No, it's go.
Yeah.
While Robert Garcia believes Errol Spence Jr. should first take a tune-up fight before facing Tim Tszyu, Roy Jones Jr. sees the situation very differently. Jones argues that Spence has built his career by taking on the toughest challenges available and has never been known for looking for easy fights. Although he acknowledges that Tszyu represents a dangerous and legitimate test, Roy believes Spence's fearless mentality, championship experience, and unwavering confidence will ultimately give him the edge when they finally step into the ring.
The biggest thing I gotta say that I love about Errol Spence is that Errol don't want no easy fights. Errol don't want to fight guys that are nobody.
He AKA no tune-up.
No,
he don't want no tune-up.
He wants challenges. You understand me? He wants challenges. And for him to challenge a person like Tim Tszyu, when Tim Tszyu has been regularly fighting for the last 3 years, he's been not doing much. That says a lot about Errol, but that tells you exactly how much fight is still left in Errol. Errol is a guy who's always coming to the party to dance. He don't have time to play no games. And you gotta love that about Errol.
He's always been that guy, even in the amateurs, and I've always had respect for Errol Spence because he's a real fighter. He's not a guy that talks a lot, but he brings...
Echoing a similar viewpoint, Andre Ward believes Errol Spence Jr. will elevate his performance against Tim Tszyu, knowing he must be sharper and more focused than ever. Ward also disagrees with Robert Garcia's opinion that Spence should take a tune-up fight first. Instead, he views Spence's decision as a display of confidence and courage, believing he is willingly embracing a dangerous challenge rather than choosing the safer or easier route.
Obviously, being 36 years of age, being off as long as he has hasn't had the tune-up fights. And by the way, I need my tune-up. Give me my tune-ups, because boxing is hard. I need my tune-up because I need to sharpen my tools. I want to make another paycheck before I make the big paycheck, but that's just me. I need my tune-ups, but I respect this brother because he's not with the tune-up. And you got to know who you are. If Errol knows that I can't really get up for that guy, then I can only get up for these type of guys. You gotta know yourself. And Errol Spence knows himself. So the respect is always gonna be there.
There has been growing concern surrounding Errol Spence Jr.'s preparation, with several boxing professionals admitting they have seen very little from his training camp ahead of the fight. Despite those concerns, recent updates have painted a different picture, as Spence's lean physique and training clips shared on social media suggest he has been working harder than ever during his extended layoff. Meanwhile, Caleb Plant believes Tim Tszyu is walking into a far more difficult fight than many expect. Plant insists that Spence's determination, championship mentality, and willingness to return after such a long absence will ultimately carry him to victory, believing his courage and commitment will outweigh any doubts surrounding his preparation.
I want to get into like your drop that dropped last month, Revenge Tour, the brand idea, right? Did it come from the Canelo loss? Was that the fuel behind the actual name?
Yeah, well, I mean, that's like the genesis of it when I really put the name together. But you know, for a long time, I've really been into fashion, and I think it stems from like not having those things as a kid. You know, having messed up shoes and clothes, and not having the other things that other kids had at school. You're like, man, one day I want this, and one day, and then you go down the rabbit hole, and you're like, there's something that I felt like made me happy, or you know, something that I was attracted to. But after the Canelo fight, after I lost, you know, I'm like, man, I want.
As the debate surrounding Bozy Ennis's comeback continues, Bozy has a strong message for everyone who is already counting Errol Spence Jr. out. Despite Spence's lengthy layoff and his difficult defeat to Terence Crawford, Bozy believes many people are underestimating what the former champion is still capable of accomplishing. Looking ahead to the July 25th showdown with Tim Tszyu, he warns that overlooking a fighter of Spence's caliber could prove to be a costly mistake.
What Spence should be doing, Spence should be Spence, man, but he must move his head, though, because Spence should come right at you and just throw the punches. He got to, and work on catching them shots, you know what I mean? If you ain't going to move your head, you got to catch some shots, you know what I mean, with your hands, you know?
Decision to stoppage. How's that fight out?
I think it's going to be a stoppage.
Just as Bozy Ennis predicts a stoppage victory for Errol Spence Jr., Tim Bradley offers an even stronger warning for Tim Tszyu. Bradley believes the punishment Tszyu has absorbed throughout his career has created significant wear and tear, which could become a major factor in this matchup. According to Bradley, those demanding battles will eventually catch up with Tszyu, giving Spence the opportunity to gradually break him down before securing a dramatic knockout victory.
I think he gonna beat Tim Tszyu. He gonna knock him out. Tim Tszyu is done. He 31 and he done. Too much wear and tear. He got his ass knocked out a couple of times. You know, mentally, he seems like he's strong mentally, right? And he wanted, but his body is not responding. You know, like it should be. You know, a lot of big knockouts and wars for Tim Tszyu, man. He get hit too much. You know, and that's what happens when you get hit too much. Your time, hey, is up real fast. Yeah, your career is short like a mug. So I got Errol Spence in that fight, but it's good.
Sending a direct warning to Tim Tszyu, Tim Bradley believes many fans are overlooking one important reality. He argues that Errol Spence Jr.'s stoppage loss to Terence Crawford does not erase everything he has accomplished throughout his career. In Bradley's view, Spence remains a seasoned veteran with years of experience competing against elite-level opponents. Meanwhile, he believes Tszyu has been hurt too many times over the course of his career, and Bradley feels that accumulated punishment may have left very little in the tank heading into this fight.
Earl gonna stop his ass. Earl gonna stop your ass, Tim Tszyu. Yeah, the battle of the veterans. That's it, man. Earl is a vet. He's a damn vet, man. He been through a lot too. You know, he only got stopped one fight. I mean, you know, as far as, you know, in the ring, not a whole lot of traumatic experience besides that Crawford one, you know, but he took the right appropriate time off. That car accident, that's a big thing. That alcohol definitely is a big thing, but shit, other than that, I think he might be better off. I think he might be better off than Tim Tszyu right now. Tim Tszyu just ain't clicking. And everybody got his damn number. Punch with his ass.
At a time when Tim Bradley believes Tim Tszyu has very little left in the tank, Lonnie B sees the situation completely differently. He insists Tszyu still possesses plenty of punching power and questions whether Errol Spence Jr. can perform at his highest level after such a lengthy layoff from the ring. Based on Tsyu's most recent performance, Lonnie believes his boxing skills remain sharp, disciplined, and highly effective. Those qualities have convinced him that Tszyu has everything needed to take control of the fight and emerge with the victory.
I think Tim Tszyu was doing good. The headbutt was nasty. The cut, it was nasty, but I think Tim Tszyu still got something left in the tank. It seems like his reflexes are there. His eyes is still there where he can see shots coming. His defense is still there. So I wouldn't count Tim Tszyu out. I think he still got something left in the tank. And I would love to see him get a shot, man.
As the discussion continues, prominent trainer Derek James also shares his perspective on the matchup. While he acknowledges that Tim Tszyu is a dangerous and highly capable fighter, James believes Tszyu will quickly realize the level of opponent standing across from him once he steps into the ring with Errol Spence Jr. According to James, Spence operates on an entirely different level, and his years of experience competing against boxing's biggest names will ultimately prove to be the deciding factor in the fight.